welcome. Today we're diving deep into the incredible science and transformational power of freedom, specifically the freedom that comes from women choosing to be alone. It's not just about psychology or life choices, it's about biology, chemistry, and even quantum physics. Get ready, because what you're about to hear might change your entire perspective, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. 6 months ago, Sarah came to one of my workshops, broken by a lifetime of compromise. Living with family, roommates, and partners, she'd lost touch with who she truly was. Sarah's story is one of transformation, resilience, and the undeniable power of self-discovery. When she first attended my workshop 6 months ago, she was carrying the weight of years spent prioritizing the needs and expectations of others. Living with family, roommates, and partners had gradually eroded her sense of self. She felt disconnected from her own identity, lost in the whirlwind of compromises that shaped her everyday life. But Sarah decided to change her narrative. During the workshop, she had a moment of clarity. She needed space, not just physical space, but emotional and mental space, to reconnect with herself. It wasn't an easy decision. The idea of living alone was both exciting and terrifying. Yet Sarah knew that this step was necessary for her well-being. So she took the leap, moving into a small apartment where she could begin anew. At first, the transition was challenging. Silence can be unsettling when you're used to the noise of shared living. But gradually, Sarah began to embrace her solitude. She created routines that were entirely her own, decorating her space in a way that felt uniquely Sarah. She started journaling, meditating, and exploring hobbies she had long forgotten. Without the constant influence of others, she could finally listen to her inner voice. The results were profound. 4 months after her move, Sarah's cortisol levels, a key indicator of stress, dropped by an astonishing 47%. Her heart rate variability, a measure of her body's ability to adapt to stress, significantly improved. Brain scans revealed the formation of new neural pathways, reflecting the mental shifts she was experiencing. These weren't just numbers or medical facts. They were tangible evidence of her transformation. More importantly, Sarah felt the difference. Her confidence soared as she rediscovered her passions and strengths. Self-awareness became her superpower, guiding her in relationships, career decisions, and personal goals. Living alone wasn't about isolation. It was about creating a sanctuary where she could thrive. Sarah's journey is a testament to the science of change and the human capacity for growth. While her story is unique, the principles behind her transformation, choosing oneself, embracing change, and fostering self-connection, are universal. For anyone feeling lost or overwhelmed, Sarah's experience serves as a beacon of hope. It's a reminder that with courage and commitment, profound change is not only possible, but inevitable. The stress reduction factor. Stress is a part of life, but when it takes over, it can wreak havoc on our bodies and minds. At the center of this is cortisol, often called the stress hormone. While cortisol is essential in small amounts, it helps us respond to danger or challenges. Chronically high levels can be a silent health saboteur. It's linked to issues like weakened immunity, digestive problems, trouble focusing, and even emotional imbalances. Imagine your body like a finely tuned instrument. When cortisol levels are high, it's like playing an off-key note that throws the whole tune out of harmony. This is why reducing stress isn't just about feeling calmer. It's about giving your body and mind the chance to function at their best. And this is where your environment plays a bigger role than you might realize. In a groundbreaking study, researchers found that women who made the choice to live alone experienced a dramatic 47% drop in their cortisol levels after just 4 months. It's not just about the act of living alone, it's about what that space represents. When you live in a shared space, whether it's with family, roommates, or a partner, your environment often reflects a blend of everyone's needs and tastes. Over time, this can create subtle but constant stress as you navigate compromises and suppress aspects of your own personality to fit the group dynamic. When you live alone, everything changes. You have complete control over your surroundings. You decide how to arrange your furniture, what colors to paint your walls, and how quiet or lively your space will be. This isn't just about aesthetics. It's about creating a sanctuary that feels like an extension of you. In this kind of environment, your body starts to relax. There's no need to adjust to others or worry about meeting expectations. That sense of ownership and autonomy directly impacts your stress levels. As stress diminishes, your body begins to heal in ways you might not even notice right away. Your immune system gets stronger, your digestion improves, and your mind feels clearer. You may start to notice more energy, better sleep, and a greater sense of emotional balance. The science behind this is simple but profound. When your environment supports your well-being, your body responds with gratitude, allowing you to thrive. Living alone can be a powerful step toward reclaiming your peace and prioritizing your health. Societal conditioning, the lies we've been told. From an early age, many women are immersed in a set of expectations so deeply ingrained they often feel like truths. These expectations are subtle yet pervasive, shaping choices and behaviors in ways that don't always feel like a choice. Questions like, "Don't you get lonely?" or "When are you going to settle down?" are perfect examples. On the surface, they seem innocent, even well-meaning. But dig deeper, and you find they're laced with assumptions about what a woman's life should look like. These questions are not just casual remarks. They are the echoes of societal conditioning, designed to reinforce specific roles and limit the exploration of one's true potential. This conditioning has roots that stretch back generations, born from a time when a woman's survival often depended on her relationships. Over the years, the reasons may have evolved, but the messaging has not. The idea that women need constant companionship to be happy, fulfilled, or even valid as individuals has persisted. It's a narrative perpetuated by everything from family conversations to fairy tales to modern media. The result? A cultural script that suggests independence is risky, undesirable, or even selfish. This societal programming is powerful. It can create a sense of doubt or even guilt when women step outside traditional roles or make choices that prioritize their autonomy. The fear of loneliness is wielded as a warning, a shadow that looms over the idea of living alone or embracing independence. "Won't you be lonely?" translates into, "Are you sure you can do this on your own?" A question loaded with skepticism and a hint of judgment. But here's the reality. These ideas are myths. They are constructs designed not to empower but to control. They keep women tethered to external validation rather than internal fulfillment. And the truth is, the fear of loneliness pales in comparison to the profound emptiness that comes from living a life that doesn't align with who you truly are. Choosing independence disrupts this entire framework. It's not just a logistical shift, it's a declaration of self-worth. It's a way of reclaiming autonomy and saying, "I am enough as I am." Independence allows women to explore their own desires, needs, and ambitions without the noise of external expectations. It's not about rejecting relationships. It's about ensuring that relationships are built on choice, not necessity. When a woman steps into her independence, she discovers something remarkable: the strength, clarity, and creativity that emerge when she has the space to focus on herself. Living alone, for example, can become an act of self-discovery. It's a chance to curate an environment that reflects who she is without compromise or concession. From the colors on the walls to the rhythm of daily life, everything becomes a reflection of her own preferences and personality. This process of self-discovery fosters confidence and resilience. Women who embrace independence often find they are better equipped to navigate the complexities of life and relationships. They learn to set boundaries, articulate their needs, and approach connections with authenticity rather than fear of rejection or abandonment. Independence isn't about isolation. It's about connection, starting with the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. Moreover, the fear of loneliness, so often used as a deterrent, is rarely the reality. In fact, solitude can be incredibly fulfilling. It offers the chance to build a life that is rich with meaning and purpose, filled with passions, friendships, and experiences that resonate on a personal level. Loneliness is not the absence of others, it's the absence of self. When a woman finds herself, she rarely feels alone. By challenging societal conditioning, women can rewrite the narratives that have confined them for so long. They can redefine what it means to be happy, successful, and fulfilled on their own terms. Independence is not just a choice, it's an act of liberation. It's the freedom to live authentically, embrace one's true potential, and create a life that is deeply, unapologetically, one's own. The neuroscience of independence. The brain is an extraordinary organ, constantly evolving in response to our experiences and environment. What's fascinating is how independence, particularly living alone, can significantly shape and enhance the brain's structure and function. While this might sound like the stuff of self-help books, it's grounded in science. Independence doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you think, literally rewiring the brain to create new possibilities. Let's begin with the prefrontal cortex, a powerhouse of mental capabilities. This area, located at the front of your brain, is responsible for executive functions like decision-making, planning, self-control, and even creative thinking. It's also closely tied to happiness and emotional regulation. When women embrace true independence, studies show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex. Why? Because independence encourages you to take charge of your life in a way that requires active thought, problem-solving, and self-reflection. Living alone, for instance, naturally invites this kind of mental engagement. When you're solely responsible for your daily life, deciding how to structure your time, solve challenges, and manage your space, you're giving your prefrontal cortex a regular workout. This isn't just about managing practicalities, it's about learning to trust your instincts, make decisions based on your values, and discover your own rhythms. Over time, this kind of engagement strengthens the neural networks in this region, making you more confident, focused, and adaptable. But the benefits don't stop there. Independence also triggers a phenomenon known as neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons. This process is vital for maintaining a healthy brain and is closely tied to learning and emotional well-being. When you embrace independence, particularly for the first time, your brain adapts to this new chapter by building fresh neural pathways. These pathways are like bridges, connecting different areas of the brain and allowing you to think in ways you may never have before. For example, without the constant influence or input of others, you have the space to explore your own thoughts, feelings, and ideas. This promotes self-awareness, a key component of mental health, and helps you develop a deeper understanding of who you are. As these neural networks grow stronger, you'll find yourself better equipped to navigate challenges, express yourself authentically, and pursue your goals with clarity. Another exciting aspect of this neural transformation is its impact on creativity. Independence often sparks a surge in creative thinking, as you're no longer confined by the expectations or routines of others. With no one else to shape your environment or dictate your choices, you have the freedom to experiment, innovate, and create in ways that feel meaningful to you. Whether it's trying out new hobbies, redecorating your space, or embarking on personal projects, your brain thrives on this sense of novelty and autonomy. This kind of mental empowerment has a ripple effect on emotional well-being. Confidence naturally grows as you see yourself successfully managing your life and making decisions that reflect your true self. happiness becomes less about external validation and more about the satisfaction of living in alignment with your values. The brain's reward system, the release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine, gets activated not by pleasing others, but by the fulfillment of your own needs and desires. In essence, independence allows your brain to flourish. It creates an environment where neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and grow, is at its peak. You're not just learning to live alone. You're learning to live more fully with a mind that's sharper, more creative, and deeply attuned to your unique potential. Emotional resilience, measured by heart rate variability, HRV. Emotional resilience is often seen as an intangible quality, the ability to navigate life's ups and downs with strength and grace. But did you know that science can measure it? One of the most reliable markers of emotional resilience is something called heart rate variability, or HRV. This fascinating measure not only tells us how adaptable our bodies and minds are to stress, but also reveals the profound impact of independence on emotional and physical well-being. HRV is the variation in time between each heartbeat. While your heart beats with a regular rhythm, the intervals between beats are not perfectly even, and that's a good thing. A higher HRV means your body is flexible, able to adapt quickly to changes and recover from stress. It's like a well-tuned instrument, capable of switching between melodies with ease. A lower HRV, on the other hand, indicates a more rigid system, making it harder to cope with challenges or bounce back from emotional upheaval. For women, embracing independence, and particularly solitude, has been shown to significantly improve HRV. When you step into a life where you prioritize your needs, create your own space, and live on your terms, it's not just a mental shift, it's a physiological transformation. Independence reduces chronic stress, a major factor in low HRV, by removing the external pressures of constantly accommodating others or living according to societal expectations. Living alone or carving out time for solitude creates an environment where your nervous system can truly reset. The constant stresses that come from shared living, whether they're big conflicts or small daily compromises, fade away. Instead, you're left with a space that feels safe, calming, and entirely your own. This reduction in stress has a direct effect on the autonomic nervous system, which controls HRV. When your nervous system is in balance, your body becomes better at moving between its two primary states, the fight or flight response and the rest and digest mode. A healthy HRV reflects this balance, showing that your body can respond to stress when needed, but also recover quickly afterward. This adaptability is the foundation of emotional resilience, allowing you to face life's challenges without feeling overwhelmed or stuck. The benefits of improved HRV go beyond just feeling calmer. A stronger, more adaptable nervous system supports better sleep, enhanced focus, and even a stronger immune system. Emotionally, it means you're less likely to be thrown off course by setbacks or difficult emotions. When stress arises, your body doesn't spiral into overdrive. Instead, it responds with a sense of steadiness and control. You become more grounded, confident, and capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Independence plays a crucial role in building this resilience because it creates the conditions for self-awareness and self-regulation. When you're living independently, you have the opportunity to tune into your own needs and rhythms without external distractions. You learn to recognize the signals your body and emotions are sending, giving you the tools to manage stress effectively. This kind of self-connection strengthens your ability to navigate emotional challenges, reinforcing the link between independence and resilience. For example, when you're feeling stressed, you might take a moment to breathe deeply, meditate, or simply sit in the quiet of your own space. These practices directly improve HRV by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest and recovery. Over time, these small, intentional acts of self-care add up, creating a foundation of resilience that supports you in every area of life. Quantum physics and the energy of solitude. Quantum physics, the study of the fundamental nature of energy and matter, might sound like a field far removed from our daily lives, but its principles hold powerful insights for understanding our well-being. One of the core ideas in quantum physics is that everything is made of energy. All the objects around us, from the stars in the sky to the chair you're sitting on, are essentially energy in different forms. This includes us, human beings, whose bodies and minds are constantly interacting with the energy around us. When we're constantly adapting to others, our energy becomes scattered. Whether it's adjusting to a partner's mood, aligning with the expectations of family or friends, or accommodating the dynamics of shared living, we expend energy in ways that often leave us feeling drained. In these situations, we're not fully in alignment with ourselves, which can lead to confusion, stress, and fatigue. Our energy is being used to maintain these external relationships, leaving less for our own personal growth or creativity. This is where solitude becomes transformative. In a space of your own, free from the need to constantly adapt or respond to others, your energy has the freedom to settle and align with who you truly are. There's no need to filter yourself or compromise. Your energy becomes centered, grounded, and focused, which opens up a whole new world of potential. Just like when a musical instrument is tuned, your body and mind can now work in harmony, vibrating at a frequency that aligns with your inner self. This alignment is not just an abstract concept. It has real effects on how we think, feel, and create. When your energy is aligned in solitude, you experience a profound shift in your creative and cognitive abilities. With no external distractions or demands, you can tap into deeper reservoirs of creativity and clarity. It's like clearing the fog from a mountain view. Once your mind is clear, your thoughts become more focused, innovative, and free from the noise of outside influence. Creativity thrives when there's space for it to bloom without restriction. In this alignment, you're able to think outside the box, explore new ideas, and bring forth innovations that might have been hidden under layers of stress or external expectations. This alignment also brings a sense of purpose. Many people find that when they spend time alone, they rediscover their passions and motivations. Without the distractions of other people's needs and opinions, you can focus on your own desires. This is not just about figuring out what you want for the day. It's about aligning with a deeper sense of direction and meaning in life. Solitude allows you to connect with your inner self, to listen to your intuition, and to understand what truly matters to you. As your energy becomes more aligned, clarity naturally follows. You begin to see the world and your place in it more clearly. Decisions feel less confusing, and you're more confident in the choices you make. You can approach challenges with a calm sense of purpose, rather than feeling overwhelmed or uncertain. It's as if your mind and body are operating on a higher level of coherence, where everything just makes more sense. But this isn't just about mental clarity. It's about thriving on an energetic level. In solitude, you're not just surviving, you're nourishing and amplifying your own energy. This doesn't mean you're isolating yourself from the world. It means you're creating a foundation of inner strength, allowing you to show up in the world as your most authentic self. When you're aligned and energized from within, your interactions with others become more meaningful, your work becomes more inspired, and your life becomes a true reflection of who you are. Reclaiming happiness and creativity. The prefrontal cortex, often referred to as the brain's executive center, is at the heart of many of our most important mental functions. It's the part of the brain that helps us make decisions, plan for the future, and regulate our emotions. It's also the region responsible for our creative thinking and our sense of happiness. So when we talk about creating a life of independence, it's not just a lifestyle change. It's a shift that actively enhances the way our brain works, particularly in this crucial area. When women take the bold step toward independence, whether by choosing to live alone, starting a new project, or simply reclaiming time for themselves, the prefrontal cortex responds. This area of the brain becomes more active, and as a result, the effects ripple out into every part of life. For many women, the act of claiming space for themselves, free from the pressures and compromises of constantly living for others, sparks a profound transformation. It's as if the brain is suddenly given the room it needs to think more clearly, to be more creative, and to feel more deeply content. One of the most immediate benefits of this shift is that decision-making becomes easier. When we're constantly surrounded by other people, their opinions, desires, and needs can muddy our own thoughts and make it harder to choose what's right for us. But in solitude, we're able to tune into our inner voice, the one that knows what we truly want. This clarity allows us to make decisions with confidence and a sense of purpose. Whether it's choosing how to spend our time, what career path to follow, or how to prioritize our own well-being, the prefrontal cortex, now empowered by independence, makes it easier to find our way. Creativity is another area that thrives when we embrace independence. The prefrontal cortex plays a significant role in generating creative ideas, solving problems, and thinking outside the box. When women are no longer bogged down by the constant need to accommodate others or follow prescribed paths, their creative energies are unleashed. Independence gives them the mental space to explore new ideas, experiment with new hobbies, and dive into projects that bring them joy. Without the fear of judgment or the constraints of external expectations, creativity flourishes naturally. It becomes an organic process, something that comes from within rather than being influenced by outside forces. But perhaps one of the most beautiful outcomes of this shift is the increase in happiness. For many, happiness is often tied to external circumstances, relationships, achievements, or the approval of others. But when a woman chooses independence, she starts to realize that happiness doesn't have to be earned from the outside world. Instead, it's something that arises from within, particularly when she aligns with her true self. The prefrontal cortex, now activated and functioning at its best, helps cultivate this state of joy. It's as though the brain's wiring is reoriented toward positive emotions and a deeper sense of contentment. This doesn't mean that independence leads to isolation. In fact, it's the opposite. By giving ourselves the freedom to live authentically, we can engage more fully with the world around us. We start to show up in our relationships, work, and communities with a sense of clarity and joy that wasn't there before. When we are in tune with our own desires and passions, we bring more of ourselves into every interaction, enriching our connections with others in ways that feel more genuine and fulfilling. Independence as a radical act of self-love. Choosing to live alone is often seen as a simple decision about lifestyle or circumstances, but it's so much more than that. In fact, it can be one of the most radical acts of self-love a person can make. In a world that often tells us we need to conform to social expectations, whether it's about relationships, family, or the ways we live and connect with others, opting for solitude is a bold declaration of self-worth and autonomy. Living alone is an act of claiming space, not just physical space, but emotional, mental, and spiritual space. In our busy, often overstimulating world, it's easy to forget that we are entitled to take up space in ways that are true to ourselves. We are constantly told to compromise, to accommodate others, and to fit into molds that don't necessarily reflect our inner desires. But by choosing to live alone, we give ourselves permission to inhabit our own world, to set our own boundaries, and to nurture our own energy. It's a way of saying, I matter. My needs, my feelings, my peace of mind are important. This is where the radical aspect of independence comes in. By living alone, you're not just rewriting your own narrative, You're challenging the societal norms that often place value on dependence and social conformity. Society teaches us that we need to be in relationships, that living alone equates to loneliness or failure. It pushes the narrative that our worth is tied to our ability to maintain connections with others, often at the expense of our own well-being. But choosing independence disrupts this narrative. It proves that you don't need anyone else's approval or constant companionship to be complete. You are enough as you are. Moreover, living independently can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to reclaim their own space and autonomy. It shows that it's possible to thrive in solitude, to flourish in the quiet, and to find happiness in the freedom to live on your own terms. Your choice becomes a beacon for others who may feel trapped by societal expectations, offering them the courage to live authentically. In essence, living alone is more than just a way of existing. It's a profound act of self-love. By choosing to carve out space for yourself, you not only honor your own needs and desires, but also challenge the assumptions that limit us. It's a statement that you are worthy of love, respect, and freedom, and that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone but you. It's a revolutionary act, one that paves the way for others to follow and embrace their own independence. Closing. True independence is a catalyst for transformation. It's about brain chemistry, emotional resilience, and energetic alignment. It's about breaking free from societal conditioning and stepping into your highest potential. Whether you're contemplating living alone or just want to understand its power, remember, this journey isn't about isolation, it's about elevation. So take the leap, claim your space, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined.